biology. Yes guys, we have already completed the life processes and today I am going to start a very brand new chapter, a very interesting chapter and of course a very important chapter of 10th biology, which is how do organisms reproduce. Yes, we are going to start how do organisms reproduce, and I hope you all have the basic idea of an organism's reproductions which you have read in 8th and 7th class. But in 10th we are going to study in details about how an organisms reproduce. So without further ado, let's get started with reproduction. So let's first kill the term reproduce. Reproduction. What exactly is reproduce or reproduction is? We need to know what exactly is reproduce means. And I very well know that you all know the term reproduction. So why not start it with yourself only? Yes, let's take you as an example. Now let me know how you came into existence on this earth. How you came into existence on this earth. Let me know. Of course, your father, your mother produced you. Am I right or not? Your father and mother produced you and you came into existence. And how your father and your mother came into existence on this earth? Their father, mother and your grandfather and grandmother produced your mother and father and they came into the picture. Yes, means production. Here what's going on is production of living things. Yes, production of living things. And we all know how reproduction takes place since you are in 10th grade, and I know you all have the basic idea how an organism reproduces and comes into an existence. Of course or not, I came into existence because my mother and father produced me and I am here today in front of you. Of course, and same thing also in case of animals also. Animals also reproduces. Animals have their babies. Plants also reproduces and of course plants have their babies. How we will deal in this chapter. How plants produces their babies. How plants reproduces. So all these things we are going to deal in this lesson. How do organisms reproduce. So how we are going to define reproduction. How we will define reproduction? It's actually a process. Reproduction is nothing. It's actually a process in which a living organisms, yes of course, living organism produces of their own kind. It's exactly a process in which a living organisms produces of their own kind. Please note it down, of their own kind. Yes or no? I specifically and highlighted the point their own kind. Why? Because human cannot produce as a dog. A dog can't produce as an elephant. An elephant can't produce as a rat. Human will produce human. Elephant will produce elephant. Dog will produce dog. Their species. Yes, their species. Means it's exactly a process in which a living organisms produces and new living organisms of their own kind, of their own species. Human species will produce as human, dog species will produce as dog, plant species will produce as plants. So you have to specify and highlight the point that of their own kind. Understood? So what exactly is reproduction? It's a process. Yes, reproduction is a process in which a living organism produces of their own kind. Once again, so it's a process in which a living organisms produces another new living organisms of their own kind. It's a process in which a living organisms produces another living organisms of their own kind. Yes, that exactly is the definition for your reproduction, and you need to remember it that reproduction is nothing but a process in which a living organisms produces a new living organisms of their own kind. Means human will produce human, elephant will produce elephant, cat will produce cat, dog will produce dog, plants will produce plants of their own same kind, of their own species. I hope you are clear about what exactly is reproduction. Now let me know, is reproduction is vital for human civilization or living world? Is reproduction is vital for the living world? Just think for a while and tell me whether this reproduction is vital or important for this civilization, for this universe, for this whole world to exist. Come on, let me know. Yes? Yes, it's important. How I am going to say you? Suppose we have already read about the various life processes which are very, very essential for our survival. We have read digestion, nutrition, circulation, respiration, excretion. All these are the vital metabolic activities without which we can't survive. If we are not going to respiration, if we don't do respiration, how can we survive? If we don't excrete, of course we will die. If there is no circulation and no pumping of blood, how can we survive? We can't survive. So all these life processes are very, very essential for our survival. In the same way, do reproduction is essential? Yes, it's also essential, but how come? Let me tell you. If a single person is there and he decided, I'm not going to marry and I'm not going to produce children, then anything will happen to our earth? Nothing. Okay, let's take some more people, few people that they have already decided that we are not going to marry, we are not going to produce children, just like brahmachari, okay? So anything will happen to our earth? Of course not. If few people decided, nothing will happen. But in case the entire civilization, entire living world, yes, entire living world comes to a point that we are not going to reproduce, then what will happen? Of course, there will be an end. There will be a full stop on our earth. There will be a full stop to the existence of civilization, the existence of life, the survival of life on this earth. Isn't it? And at that point, this reproduction plays a vital role. Few people denies, nothing will happen. But whole civilization, whole living world, they deny to marry, they deny to produce. Then the civilization comes to an end. Yes, there will be no living things. Yes, so when we are talking about common, yes, collectively if we are going to speak about, then this reproduction plays a very vital role for the existence of life, for the existence of survival of life on this earth. Understood? So hence it also plays a very vital role for the existence of life or survival of the life on this earth. Hope you understood, God, what is reproduction. Reproduction is a process in which a living organism produces a new living organisms of their own kind. And of course, it is important for the existence of life on the earth. Clear? Now let's see what are the two types of reproduction. Yes, children, there are exactly two types of reproduction. You all have read asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Yes, here only single letter difference is there. Asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. So guys, how many types of reproduction? Two types of reproduction, asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Only difference is in one letter. Asexual and sexual reproduction. Okay, now let's see what is this asexual and sexual reproduction. How do they differ? Okay, let's see asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction. Again, let me take you as an example only. You came into existence. You. Yes, you and me. Yes, you. Our mother and father produced us and we came into existence. Father is required, mother is required. How many parents are required, guys? Two parents are required. So in sexual reproduction, two parents are required. Yes. So for the reproduction to take place in sexual reproduction, two parents are required, mother parent and father. Yes, I came into existence because of my mother and father, two parents. When two parents are involved in production of a new living thing, then it is called as your sexual reproduction. Got it? Sexual reproduction requires two parents. Yes, and that mating of the two parents is called as fertilization, which we will discuss in the later part of this lesson. Okay, so it requires two parents. Got it? It requires two parents, and exactly it's a very complicated process. Sexual reproduction is very complicated as compared to your asexual reproduction, and asexual reproduction is a very simple process. Simple organism, it takes place in simple organism, simple process, and here there is no required of two parents. Single parent has the ability to produce a new living organisms. So it's less complicated as compared to your asexual reproduction. Understood? So in asexual reproduction, single parent is required. It's a very simple process and takes place in simple organisms like microorganisms and few plants. But on the other hand, your sexual reproduction requires two parents, complicated processes, and when two parents undergo mating, then it's called fertilization and a new living organisms comes into existence. And it takes place in your fishes, your birds, your human beings, animals, and of course higher plants. So these are the basic difference between asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Clear? So today we are going to focus only on asexual reproduction, and the later classes we are going to discuss about sexual reproduction. So let's move into asexual reproduction. So guys, so let's first of all see what exactly is asexual reproduction, and I told you it's a very simple process and takes place in simple organism. Simple organism, so we can take the best example as amoeba. Yes, so let's first of all see what are the different types of asexual reproduction. Yes, so it's exactly a simple process. There are different types of asexual reproduction. The first one is binary fission. Second one is your multiple fission. Third one is your fragmentation. Fourth one budding. Fifth one spore formation. Sixth one regeneration. And the seventh one is vegetative propagation. So there are exactly 7 ways of asexual reproduction. How many ways of asexual reproduction, guys? 7. How many? 7. The first one, binary fission. Second one, multiple fission. Third one, fragmentation. Fourth one, budding. Fifth one, spore formation. And sixth one, regeneration. And the last one is vegetative propagation. So one by one we are going to deal with each of it. So first let's start with the binary fission, which is a very simple process which takes place in a very simple organisms like amoeba, paramecium, leishmania. Okay, so what exactly is binary fission? Binary, you understand? Binary means 2. Okay, let's split the words. Let's know the meaning of each of the word. Binary means 2 and fission means splitting. Binary means 2 and fission means splitting. Got it? Binary means 2. Understood? Binary means 2 and fission means splitting. So here what happened? A single parent or a single organism splits to form 2 new organisms, which exactly means your binary fission. So what exactly is binary fission? Here the parent organism, here the parent living organism splits into 2 to form 2 new organisms, that is called as your binary fission. It takes place in a simple organism. It is very simple process. You can give examples paramecium, amoeba and your leishmania. So let's take one example of amoeba, and we all know Amoeba is a very simple organism, unicellular, irregular shape organism. Yes, so your amoeba is single cell, okay, simple organism, got it, and irregular in shape. And it has got definite nucleus. Amoeba has got nucleus and cytoplasm in it. So what happened now? When an amoeba is fully grown and ready to undergo the reproduction process, the nucleus inside it, yes, when it is fully grown, yes, please mark my points what I am speaking. When it is fully grown, when an amoeba is fully grown and ready to undergo the process of reproduction, the nucleus inside the amoeba, starts dividing. When it is ready to reproduce, the nucleus which is present in the amoeba starts dividing. The nucleus starts dividing. Yes, guys? So the nucleus starts dividing. The blue dotted one are cytoplasm. Yes, guys? So just now I told you that yes, a fully grown amoeba, when it becomes ready to undergo reproduction, the nucleus which is present in it starts dividing. Yes guys, the nucleus which is present inside the amoeba starts dividing. Here you can say. And once it starts dividing and it divides into two, then comes the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm again starts dividing. And finally at the end we are getting two amoeba. Yes, so what exactly happens means when it's become ready to undergo reproduction, the nucleus inside the amoeba starts dividing. Once the nucleus divides, cytoplasm divides, and finally at the end of this binary fission, we will be getting two new amoeba, and these two amoeba are called two daughter amoeba. Why is it not called as son amoeba? That I don't know. But it's called as two daughter amoeba. Hence, binary fission is a process in which a parent organism splits into two daughter living organisms. That exactly is your binary fission. You can take number of examples. Paramecium, Leishmania. I just want to share one important thing, that is about Leishmania. And what exactly Leishmania? Have you heard it? Leishmania, actually in human beings it causes a disease called Kala Azar. It's also a unicellular organism and it undergoes binary fission, but quite small difference is there between the amoeba fission and Leishmania fission. Because you see, amoeba has got an irregular shape and it can divide from any way. It can divide from here, it can divide from here, it can divide from here. From any way the amoeba can divide, but not in Leishmania, because Leishmania has got an organized shape. Yes, Leishmania has got an organized shape and the splitting takes place in the middle. The splitting takes place in the middle and forms two daughter Leishmania. And in the same way in Paramecium also. So this is what your binary fission. So yes guys, in the next class we will be reading about the multiple fission. Go through it, revise at home. Stay at home, stay healthy, stay safe. See you.